everyone. Today we talk about multiple pregnancy. Myself Dr. Parul Udnawala, Assistant Professor, GMC Surat. So what do you mean by multiple pregnancy? So when there is more than one fetus simultaneously develop in the uterus, it is called as multiple pregnancy. If it is two fetus, then it is twin pregnancy. Three fetus, triplet pregnancy. Four fetus, quadruplet pregnancy. And 5 fetus, quintuplet pregnancy. Most common is a twin pregnancy, which represent 2 to 3% of all pregnancies. So there are two types of twins, that is dizygotic twins and monozygotic twins. Most common represent it is a dizygotic twins. It is a 2/3 of cases. In that case, fertilization of more than one egg by more than one sperm. Simple. 2 sperm, 2 egg and 2 fetus. No, it is non-identical twins and may be of different sex. And it have 2 chorion and 2 amnion. Placenta may be separate or fused. Synonyms are binovular or fraternal twins. And factor affecting its incidence. Why there is a dizygotic twins? Why there is a twins are? Why there is increase in twin pregnancy? Because of there is a induction of ovulation by 10% clomiphene citrate and 30% with gonadotropins. There are more chances of cases of twins because today we have a more incidence of infertility, and we for infertility treatment we treat the patient by induction of ovulation. So there are more chances of twin pregnancy. There is an increased maternal age due to why there is a maternal age increase and twin pregnancy will increase? Because of increased gonadotropin production by increased maternal age. Increases with the parity. Hereditary usually on the maternal side. Depends on the race also. Nigeria 1:22, North America 1:90, and India is a 1:80. Second one is monozygotic twins. It is having a constant incidence of 1:250 birth. It is not affected by hereditary, not related to the induction of ovulation. It is a constitutes of 1/3 of the twins. And synonyms are uniovular or identical twins. Similarly, dizygotic are biovular and fraternal twins. So in that case, monozygotic, whenever there is a fertilization occur and a division of the fertilization, when there is occur, the other types of monozygotic twins are determined. Like if fertilization of egg, division of that fertilization of egg within 72 hours, then it is a diamniotic and dichorionic. Means both fetus have both amnion and both chorion, having two amnion and two chorion. If division of the fertilization occur after 4 to 8 days, then it is a diamniotic and monochorionic, means two amnion and one chorion. And if it is division of the fertilization egg after within 9 to 12 days, it is monoamniotic and monochorionic. So both fetus having single amnion and single chorion. And if it is a more than 12 days, it is a conjoined twins. Okay, so in conjoined twins, division occurs after development of the full embryonic disc. So it is a 4 types. It is a thoracophagous, means 2 fetus attached with thorax. Ischiophagous means 2 fetus attached with ischium. Craniophagous means 2 fetus attached with the cranium. Monozygotic twins, most common is a diamniotic and monochorionic, means both fetus have a 2 amnion and single chorion. Single chorion means single placenta. This is the most common presentation of the monozygotic twins. It is a 65 to 70%. It is monochorionic means mostly division occur in 4 to 8 days of fertilized egg. So it is a diamniotic. Monochorionic is most common in dizygotic twins. After that, 30% are diamniotic and dichorionic, means both fetus have a 2 amnion and 2 chorion. 1% having a monochorionic and monoamniotic, means both fetus have a single amnion and single chorion. How will you determination of the zygosity? Very important, as most of complication occur in monochorionic and monozygotic twins. So we detect by USG, early detection, very accurate in first trimester. There is a two sac and presence of thick chorion between two amniotic membrane is known as twin peak sign. It is less accurate in second trimester as chorion become thin and fuse with the amniotic membrane. So it is a diagram showing the twin peak. It is also known as a lambda sign. See, there is a amnion sac. So in both in between two amnion there is a chorionic tissue, and it is a thick and it is a shape of lambda. So it is a lambda sign because it is a so this pregnancy is a dichorionic diamniotic pregnancy. See, in this case only amniotic membrane seen, no chorionic tissue in between. So it is a T sign and it suggests the monochorionic pregnancy. So how will you define the DCTA? मतलब dichorionic diamniotic pregnancy and monochorionic diamniotic pregnancy. So dichorionic diamniotic having a lambda sign, thick membrane more than 2 mm, different or same sex, placenta near or away, placenta notch and groove present, placental different echogenicity. So both placenta have a different echogenicity. Where the MCTA there is a thin sign present, thin membrane less than 2 mm, and there is always a same sex because it is a dizygotic twins. Placenta is so it is a monozygotic twins, always the same sex. Placenta is always fused, placenta no notching, and placenta is a same echogenicity. The most confirmation of zygosity are by after birth, by examination of the membrane, placenta, sex and blood group of the both fetus. An examination of the newborn DNA, newborn baby DNA and HLA may be needed in few cases. So, why it is so important to determine the chorionicity? Because monochorionic twins having a more complication. So, always in twins pregnancy do early scan and detect the chorionicity of the both fetus. Now complication of the multiple pregnancy. There are two types of complication. First is maternal complication, that is during pregnancy anemia due to increased demand. So two fetus more demand, more chances of anemia. It is 5 to 9% compared to normal pregnancy. Increased incidence of preeclampsia because large placenta causes more vasoconstriction according to the theory, and it will lead to preeclampsia. Polyhydramnios in monochorionic and monozygotic twins. Increased incidence of premature labor because of overdistension of the uterus. There are more chances of preterm labor. There are more chances of abruptio placenta because there is a large placenta. Exaggeration of the physiological symptoms like fatigue, palpitation, pedal edema, all are exaggerated in multiple pregnancy. During labor, there are more chances of pre-pro, more chances of port prolapse, increased operative interference, and prolonged labor, and more chances of PPH. During puerperium, there is a subinvolution because there is a uterus is very large compared to normal pregnancy after postpartum. So there is a more chances of subinvolution, more chances of infection because large low area remain large row area present after separation of the placenta will lead to the infection and failing lactation. Due to infection, there are failing lactation. In fetus, there is an increased incidence of abortion, increased perinatal morbidity and mortality, prematurity with or without rupture of membrane, increased incidence of malpresentation, increased incidence of cord prolapse, high incidence of IUGR. IUFD is most common in monozygotic twins due to cord entanglement, compression, congenital anomaly, discordancy, asphyxia due to PET and abruptio. So, most common in monochorionic twins. congenital anomaly is 2 times common in twins pregnancy. So, now specific complication in the monochorionic twins. There is a first most common complication is twin-to-twin transfusion. So, what do you mean by twin-to-twin transfusion? It is a result from vascular anastomosis between twin vessels at the placenta. So, it is a most common is usually a artery or venous, matlab from donor's artery to recipient vein, fetus, and occurs in 10% of monochorionic twins. So, chronic shunt occurs, the donor bleeds into the recipient, so one is pale and oligohydramic, while other is polycythemic and with polyhydramnios. If it is not treated, death occurs in 80 to 100% of case. So, what are the treatment of modality for the twin-to-twin transfusion? So, we have one option is repeated amniocentesis from the recipient. We go for the indomethacin, which reduce the liquor of polyhydramnios baby. And main treatment is fetoscopy and laser ablation of the communicating vessels. जो एनास्टोमोसिस कर रही है वेसल्स उसको हम लेजर एब्लेशन कर देंगे. ओके, दिस इज द मेन ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ ट्विन टू ट्विन ट्रांसफ्यूजन सिंड्रोम. Second complication of monochorionic pregnancy is a congenital malformation. So it is a twice that singleton. Third is umbilical cord anomaly. It is 3 to 4%. Congenital twins, it is a rare. It is 1:70-100 deliveries. The majority are the thoracophagous. Perinatal neonatal mortality rate of monochorionic is 5 times that of dichorionic twins. Because there is a more chances of IUGR, more chances of twin to twin transfusion syndrome, both discordant twins. Because there is a single placenta. So, maternal physiological adaptation in twin pregnancy are, there is an increased blood volume and cardiac output, increased demand for iron and folic acid, maternal respiratory difficulty because there is a overdistension of the abdomen due to enlarged uterus, excessive fluid retention and edema, and increased attack of supine hypertension. How will you diagnose the multiple pregnancy? So there is a, in history, always ask for the family history. On maternal side mainly, there is a history of twin pregnancy in your mother on your maternal side. Then positive history of ovulation induction. If there is a history of infertility and female having take the ovulation induction drug for that treatment. Then exaggerated symptoms of pregnancy like is more fatigue, palpitation, pedal edema, then overdistension of the uterus. There is a marked edema of lower limb. There is a discrepancy between the date and uterine size. By date she may be have 24 weeks, but per abdomen uterus may be 28 to 30 weeks. So there is a always discrepancy between date and uterine size. Then on palpation, there is a many fetal parts are palpated. And auscultation of the two fetal heartbeat at the two different sites with a difference of 10 beats per minute. So, we assume that is a twin pregnancy and it is confirmed by USG. In USG early trimester, 2 sacks by 5 weeks by we can detect twins in transvaginal USG. Now, antenatal care. Our aim is prolongation of the gestational age and increase the fetal weight. So, main complication is preterm labor in twin pregnancy. So, our main aim is prolongation of the gestational age and increase the fetal weight, improve the perinatal mortality and morbidity, and decrease. Perinatal mortality should be reduced and morbidity should be reduced, and decrease the incidence of maternal complication. So, antenatal care every 2 weeks and follow-up every 2 weeks, iron and folic acid, and after term it will be every 1 weekly, and iron folic acid should be given in double dose to avoid the anemia. Assess the cervical length and competency in second trimester. Advice regarding nutrition and rest. Fetal surveillance. Fetal surveillance monthly USG from 24 weeks to assess the fetal growth and weight. A discordant weight difference of more than 25% is an abnormal twin. It is a IUGR, one small twin and one large twin. And weekly CTG from 36 weeks. Method of delivery. It is vertex to vertex, 50% more common, and vaginal delivery is preferred. Interval between twins not to exceed 20 minutes. One twin is delivered within 20 to 30 minutes, second twin should be delivered. Then vertex breach, first fetus presentation having a vertex and second is breach, 20%. So vaginal delivery by vertex should be delivered by vertex after delivery of first fetus. Vaginal delivery of second breach should be in senior obstetrician. Breach vertex, it is 20%, safer to deliver by cesarean to avoid the rare complication of interlocking twin. And breach, that is a 10%, usually by cesarean section. So first vertex always trial for vaginal delivery, and first non-vertex twins always go for the cesarean section in full-term patient. Perinatal outcome. Perinatal mortality rate is 5 times that of singleton. Respiratory distress syndrome accounts for 50% of perinatal mortality rate. Second twin is more affected. Birth trauma of second twin is 4 times affected than first. Incidence of SB is twice that of stillbirth is twice that of single twin. Perinatal outcome. Congenital anomalies is responsible for 50% of perinatal mortality rate. Cerebral hemorrhage and birth asphyxia are responsible for 10% of perinatal mortality rate. Cerebral palsy is 4 times that of singleton. 50% of twin babies are born with low birth baby, less than 2500 gram, from prematurity and IUGR. Now, intrauterine death of one twin. Early in pregnancy, usually no risk. If one fetus is dead in early trimester, usually there is no risk. If it is second or third trimester, always look for the chorionicity. If it is monochorionic twins, there is a more chances of DIC. There is an increased risk of thrombosis in the live fetus, and the risk is much higher in monochorionic than in dichorionic twins. So live fetus should be delivered by 30 to 34 weeks in monochorionic twins. High rank multiple gestation, that is a spontaneous triplet. It is a 1:800 births. Spontaneous quadruplet with 4 fetus in uterus, that is a 1:7 lakh birth. The main risk is severe prematurity. Caesarean section is the usual and safe method of delivery. High perinatal mortality rate about 50 to 100 in 1000 births. So, in teen pregnancy, there are more chances of complication in monochorionic twins. So, always look for early trimester USG and determine the monochorionicity first, because there are more chances of complication in that pregnancy.